Okay, so we're about to dive into the really surprising connection between something as simple as a hair mask and a multi-trillion-dollar industrial problem. It's a journey that, believe it or not, starts right in your bathroom, but ends up deep in the world of industrial chemistry. And it might just change the way you look at your personal care routine forever. So let's start with this question you've probably seen popping up online. Could volcanic ash actually be the secret to better hair? This whole idea using what's called bentonite clay has been all over beauty and wellness blogs for years now. But what if there's a lot more to this so-called natural remedy than meets the eye? I mean, if you look it up on a site like Healthline, the recipe seems so simple, right? It's literally 3 ingredients you can whip up in your own kitchen. You just take some clay, some warm water, and a bit of apple cider vinegar. You mix it into a paste, you put it on your hair, wait a few minutes, and that's it. Sounds easy enough. And people are doing this for some pretty awesome sounding reasons, you know? Deep moisture, less frizz, more shine, getting rid of oil and dirt. But it's that last one. That last one really stands out. This claim that it removes toxins. That little phrase? Well, that's where our story takes a really fascinating turn. So how in the world is it supposed to pull out these toxins? Well, the science behind it all comes down to one word: adsorption. And nope, that's not a typo for absorption with a B. This is adsorption with a D. It means that molecules stick to the surface of the clay. You can almost think of it like static cling, but for impurities, they just latch right on. And this is where things get really interesting. Because the secret to this clay's power, you're not just going to find it in a beauty blog. You're also going to find it in a much, much more surprising place: an industrial chemical data sheet. Just look at the resume on this stuff. We're talking about the exact same kind of clay being used to clean up massive oil and chemical spills. Farmers use it to bind up toxins in animal feed. It's even a key ingredient in construction and water treatment. It just goes to show you how incredibly powerful its binding properties really are. It's the real deal. So, okay, if this clay is such a powerful magnet for all sorts of gunk, it really makes you wonder, right? What exactly are the toxins in our world today that it might be attracting? Well, meet PFAS. You might know them by their much more ominous nickname, forever chemicals. These are a huge group of man-made chemicals that, just like the name says, are unbelievably persistent. They just don't break down, not easily in the environment and not easily in our bodies. And the crazy thing is, they are everywhere. We're talking heavy-duty industrial stuff like firefighting foam, sure, but also things you see every single day, like in your carpets, your paint, even your food packaging. And yeah, they're also found in our personal care products, things like shampoo and cosmetics. The scale of this whole issue is it's staggering. The estimated annual global cost of dealing with PFS, from healthcare to cleaning up the environment, is a jaw-dropping 17.5 trillion US dollars. That's trillion with a T. It's hard to even wrap your head around a number that big. All right, so let's put the pieces together. We've got this natural stuff, clay, that is industrially proven to grab onto toxins. And we've got these other things, PFAS, that are in thousands of products all around us. So where do they meet? Well, the meeting point could be literally right on top of your head. Your scalp. It's so easy to forget this, but your scalp is skin. It's a really complex organ with all these different layers. And while its main job is to be a barrier, it can also be a gateway. Your hair follicles and oil glands can actually act like tiny little entry points, allowing certain things to pass through the skin and into your body. So what decides if something gets in? Well, a few different things make a difference. First, size matters. Smaller molecules have an easier time getting through. The natural oils on your scalp can actually help certain chemicals absorb. And think about this. Warmth, like from a nice hot shower, can make your skin more permeable. And finally, even the pH level of a product can play a role in how much is absorbed. And here's the thing. We use all these products for really important, very human reasons, right? We use them to feel good about ourselves, to feel confident, to express who we are. But all of this creates a kind of hidden dilemma. Because on one hand, you have the amazing allure of it all, the confidence, the creativity, the self-expression that comes with our beauty routines. But on the other hand, there's this potential burden, things like scalp irritation, questions about where ingredients come from, and, as we've been talking about, the potential for chemical exposure. Now, I want to be really clear. The point of all this is not to make you afraid. It's really just about awareness. It's about pulling back the curtain and understanding the surprisingly complex story that can be hiding behind even the simplest products we use every single day. And I guess that leaves us with one last big question to think about. In a world where these synthetic, forever chemicals have become so common, what does a term like natural beauty even mean anymore? It's definitely something worth considering.